all messed up. It's
Fight of the night.
Yan Sterling, right? That's this one. All right.
Oh, it's such a good fight. I'm so
this fight. I love it. It's about damn time Aljamain Sterling is fighting for this belt. It is a pick'em fight, -110, both sides. Man, it's going to be a great fight. It really is. Anyone that listens to the show know that we have been an Aljamain Sterling podcast from day one. I will say, though, I've been watching some Petr Yan highlights, and he can wrestle. His wrestling is underrated. And I've said that a couple weeks ago. Like, a lot of people discredit his wrestling. He can wrestle. And if you actually look, Aljamain Sterling takedown accuracy is at 29%. It's really not that good. But I just feel like Aljamain right now is just on a really good run. He's hot. I just feel like he's going to be much stronger than Petr Yan. He's got a pretty different build. He's got a pretty big reach advantage. So my gut is telling me I have to go with Aljamain Sterling. It is a really close fight. I just think on the ground, as far as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is concerned, I think Sterling has an advantage in that aspect. If he can get the fight to the ground, it's over. I wouldn't bet on this fight. This fight is one I can't bet on. It's way too close. It's way too. It's a kind of a clash of styles, but it's kind of not, because I think Sterling he stands pretty well as well.
He does.
I got to go Sterling here. It's a 5-round fight. I'm gonna go Sterling by sub. I feel like that's the only way he can get it. I think that's the only way he can get a finish. I think that if it goes to decision, Jan's going to have the advantage. He'll pick him apart on the feet. If it goes to decision, he'll either knock him out or he'll pick him apart for 5 rounds. I think Sterling's got to get the fight to the ground and get a sub, and I'm confident he can do it. Sandhagen is an animal, and we've seen that. And what he did to Sandhagen, now granted, it doesn't happen. You run that fight 10 times, it's not happening the majority of the time, but it happened. And I think Sterling is that good. I would stay away from this from a betting standpoint. Way too close. I would not be surprised if Petr Yan wins, though. It's just a super close fight, super tough one to predict. And I also was listening to a show earlier. Petr Yan has not trained at his normal camp. He hasn't trained at his normal camp. He's been training in Florida due to COVID, which is different. That is much different than what he's used to. He's not going to have his normal people in his corner either. I don't know if that'll play a factor for him or not. I know some fighters talk about how important it is without fans. They can hear everything their corner's saying. So maybe that plays a factor as well. I'm going Aljamain Sterling in this one by finish. And I know Aaron disagrees with it. I'm a wild man, Aaron. I'm doing it.
Listen, what Petr Yan has done has been incredibly impressive. He's 7-0 in the UFC. I think he definitely has proven that he belongs in the consideration for one of the best in the division. I don't think he's proven that he's the best in the division. I think the fight against Uriah Faber was nothing. That was a gimme fight. He knocked him out cold. And then the Jose Aldo fight, I do have a lot of respect for Jose Aldo for a ton of reasons, but he actually has looked good recently. So I will put a little more stock into that win. But I think what Aljamain Sterling did to Corey Sandhagen was way more impressive than what Petr Yan has done. And I actually think Yan, like I said, deserves to be in that conversation. But I think Sterling and Sandhagen are actually the two best in this division. I think when you give Yan time, he can pick you apart. He can strike. He has a ton of power. He's probably the best boxer in that division. But when you look at what Aljamain did to Corey Sandhagen, he got right in his face. He has this crazy, awkward style that's really hard to predict. And if he gets you on the ground, it's game over. He can grapple better than anyone in this division. I think Petr Yan's time is up. I think Aljamain's reign is here. I'm going Aljamain submission.
Ooh, I like it.
You want to go ahead, Sonny?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when the fight was announced, like right after he submitted Sandhagen was pretty much when it should have happened. I had Sterling for a long time, and kind of like you guys did with Usman, you switched over. I think Petr Yan, although he hasn't proven it against the quality of opponent like Aljamain Sterling, bottom line, he has too many weapons to lose this fight. He's got stand-up for days. If he goes for the takedown, I could see him hitting him with a knee. I could see him holding his own on the ground with Aljamain Sterling. I think Petr Yan is unproven still, but I do think that Petr Yan is really going to. I mean, he may not hold the belt for that long, but he's going to defeat Aljamain Sterling, and I think he's going to beat him. It could be brutal. I think.
Really?
He's too many weapons. Too many weapons for me. The stand up is far better than Aljo's, and the ground game is too close for me to stick with Aljo. And I really like the violence that I see from Petr Yan, and I think he brings that into any and every fight that he's in. He can really do damage, and that's the name of the game at the end of the day. So do damage and have weapons in your arsenal, and I think he's got both of those things. I think he beats Aljo by potentially an early finish. I'm going to say a second round knockout from Petr Yan.
Bunny.
I also have early on TKO from Yan. And as much as I'm a big fan of Sterling myself, so if it were who I want to win, it would be Aljamain. That kid he's unbelievable. His submissions are great, but I am confident that he's got the belt, he's gonna hold it, and he's gonna be violent. And it's TKO for sure from Yan.
Can I defend Aaron when I say he's not proven? I think he's absolutely a proven fighter. I think he's proven himself to be top 3. I don't think he's the best in that division, is what I'm saying. I think Sterling and Sandhagen, in my opinion, are better than Yan. I think he's proven. I don't think he's proven as the clear-cut #1 champ based on the Faber and Aldo fights.
He's proven, but not the quality of opponents that Aljo has.